This is the Brewers event 2026 up at the Mansfield Town Football Ground, and we've spoke to Bruce Kennedy numerous times from Zinsser, and Edward's here because Edward wants to know a little bit more about GARDZ and Peel Stop. So we're going to swivel the camera around and we're going to get Edward asking Bruce about the products that he does. So if the camera's picking me up.
So hi Bruce.
Right.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing, mate? Good to meet you as well.
So, what's the difference between your GARDZ and your Peel Stops to begin with?
So, okay. So as far as obviously the two products, so Peel Stop, GARDZ, slightly, they're very similar, very, very similar in regards to makeup. However, Peel Stop can be used interior, exterior. It's also microporous, so it allows substrates to breathe. GARDZ is a it will allow a substrate to breathe to a degree, but the whole purpose, so if I go, I'll move on to one on the other first. So GARDZ, interior. GARDZ is, so if you've got wallpaper where you've stripped it off, etc., this will actually seal. This will seal the substrate ready for overpainting. So as an example, if anybody remembers, when you take wallpaper off, you clean it, you sand it, you do everything within an inch of its life. Guarantee you put a wet cloth on that substrate, it will still be tacky. So therefore, what people tend to forget is with wallpaper, the whole purpose of it is it penetrates into the substrate, and then basically when it gets reactivated with water, it then reactivates the paste, then it comes sticky. Whole purpose of it. GARDZ, however, will stop that from happening. GARDZ will actually give you a solid base, so you can recoat, etc. So that's GARDZ. It's also got 12.5% alkali within it, so you can use it on very high alkali areas, etc. It's not to be confused with Distemper, purely on the basis of with Distemper, total different product, which I'll go on to in a second. So I'll come back to that one. But this is more of it's an everyday primer in that regard, interior. Peel Stop, however, this is in my opinion, my creme de la creme product. So Peel Stop gets people out of a lot of trouble. Peel Stop is, so you're in a bathroom, you're in a kitchen, you're in anywhere of your property. It basically you've got peeling paint, and normally in the good old day you would sand it back and then you'd paint it, or you fill it and then paint it. That doesn't stop paint from peeling again. And the only time it really is pronounced is when you re-roller that substrate, and then basically it'll basically come away with the paint, with the roller, I apologise. Whereas what this does is if you've got a surface area of like that, and that's a bare area, all the rest around it is natural paint. So that area you brush against the leading edges, which I've seen you do, Phil, anyway. So you paint against the leading edges, you don't paint away or in from the edge, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to create a barrier, and obviously if you paint against the edges, it allows this to penetrate under the substrate, under the paint film, to grab it, lock it in its situ. Then also on top of that, you then, once you've done that, you allow that to dry. It's about 2 hours. You then sand it, and then you rub it down as you normally would, preparatory wise. You then put that over the top of the filler. That then binds and seals the filler, and then you overcoat it with standard emulsions, etc. That will stop any peeling paint. There's a lot of stuff on social media, including yours, Phil, that talk about the products more in depth, about what they can and cannot do, and what they can and cannot be used on. But as also one thing I did forget, Peel Stop can be used on denatured timber. And denatured timber is grey timbers, dry timbers. So you'll look outside and you'll look at a piece of wood external, a windowsill or whatever, and it will all be cracking, it'll be crazing and everything else. Now, in the good old day, we would always say replace. It's cost, and we appreciate that. Not that I'm saying I would come away from that, but I would always say you can use this and you literally apply it liberally. And that will penetrate into the wood, it will bind the wood fibres, and it will make it tougher. Wood hardeners, there's a difference. Wood hardeners sit on a surface, they don't penetrate. Hence the reason why over time, wood fillers, 2-pack wood fillers and wood hardeners break down in a quick succession. This will actually penetrate. I would highly, and I'm not affiliated to them, I would highly recommend using Repair Care as a resin, because resin, that is a far superior product as a wood repair system rather than a conventional 2-pack wood filler. But everyone's their own. But again, so you use that, you then rub down your filler or your Repair Care, you put Peel Stop over the top of it, and then you put your top coats over. That way you've binded everything together in one. As far as as far as distemper, etc., we have got a product called Grade 1. Grade 1 is used in historical buildings, it's used in cathedrals, churches, cellars, not so much cellars, but anywhere where there is a high condensation of efflorescence, etc. And I keep doing this, and I'm sorry, Phil, you might have to pause this, because I can never find it in here.
Fast forward this bit.
Thank you, mate, yeah, please. There you go, Grade 1. So Grade 1, see you later, good to see you. So as far as Grade 1's concerned, that is ideally suited for anywhere that's got high distemper. It's a 4-in-1 product. So we normally say, with efflorescence, we normally say brush off as best you can, back to get rid of all the loose and friable, followed by 2 coats of that. It is solvent based. There's not a massive amount of smell to it, but there is a bit of a smell because it's solvent based. But in those type of areas, that will stop the efflorescence. Obviously, it's not going to 100% get rid of it because it's subject to what's on the external wall and what the reasons behind it are. We have got another product called, sorry mate, you did ask, again, it's whether I can find it. We have got another product called Watertight.
Yeah.
That's it's a tanking type product made of cementone resins, etc., which is that one there. However, this particular product is you only can use it on, you can use it on previously painted, but you can also use it on bare. Downside, and there is a downside, it goes 2 square meters per litre. If it's used more in that instance, so in other words, I've seen it many a time where people have overused it and they've pushed the boundaries, it will fail. But this will hold back to 34 psi of water pressure. So in a basement, in cellars, we use it in pubs, in hotels, in nightclubs, everywhere. Touch wood, I've never had anyone come back to me saying it doesn't work. It is that good. It is only available in white. It can be tinted into very light pastel colours, but what we normally say is there's a specific colour that the customer wants. You can literally use that, leave it for 2 weeks, and then apply perma white over the top, which is that one there.
Just going back to that watertight.
Yep.
Using it in cellars, does the cellar have to be dry before you use it? Can you use it over a damp surface?
100%.
How easy is it to apply on a damp surface for brushing and not coming away?
So normally what we say in this, because of the type of product this is, the first coat is the most essential. So the first coat is your primer coat. So with that, we normally say apply with a block brush. So a very stiff, short, bristled brush. And you literally do that. As I say, you do it in a circular motion to get into all the capillaries, to get into all the loo, to get into all the areas where a roller wouldn't get into. Once you've done that and it is solid, second coat is then applied at 2.5 square meters, and that can be put on with a roller as standard, probably a thick pile roller or something to that effect. So yeah, that's how we apply it. And yes, it can go into semi-damp, not soaking. If there's a river running through it, I wouldn't recommend it. But obviously, if it's a damp area, that's the advantage with that. It's a great product.
That's something that's on the Zinsser app. So if anybody wants to download the Zinsser app, they can find about the products that are suitable for the surfaces, substrates that they're wanting to paint over.
Okay. Downside: the Zinsser app
is down.
Well, it's not down.
It's not
basically
updated.
America are not updating it. They have discontinued. They've stopped updating it. We are now targeting everybody towards the new Zinsser website, which is www.zinsseruk.com. That is the new website. There's a lot of case studies. There's a lot of stuff, information on there. We have got a new thing in place now, which I don't know whether you're aware of. It's called a Mark of a Pro. So Mark of a Pro is, it's not a loyalty thing. It's basically, we are trying to tie all professional painters and decorators in, and with that we are looking for feedback, we are looking for, we're targeting marketing towards you guys in regards to what you're looking for in a product. Is there anything that we're missing, etc, etc. It's a new initiative that we've done, but there's an awful lot of content on our website now. It's phenomenal, actually. I personally like the app, you know that, but they don't see the point of it anymore, so they're doing away with it.
Right, that's fair enough. I will just ask, because it's a question that gets asked, if you've stripped wallpaper and the cheap contract matte emulsions come away with the wallpaper and left your surface very patchy,
Yeah.
do you go in with GARDZ or do you go in with Peel Stop, or do you use both?
because it's been papered and the paint's coming away, I'd sand it down exactly as you would do standard, and I would always use GARDZ.
Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah.
purely because obviously if the paint is, if there's certain areas where there is paint, then GARDZ would still probably do the similar type scenario rather than doing Peel Stop then GARDZ.
Yeah.
Because you're just cross-contaminating different products with each other.
The reason I ask is because I see it on plenty of forums on social media,
Okay.
where people have seen this, we call it mapping, where you've got cheap contract matte emulsion
100%.
being left on the surface, and people are advising to use Peel Stop because they want the Peel Stop to bind down those paint edges, which
100%, yeah.
you're counteracting what you want to do if you want to actually seal in that
100%,
paste.
100%.
So GARDZ is still
GARDZ
suitable
is still
for
the
that.
suitable. However, what I would say in that instance is the fact, same as what I've said earlier, GARDZ, which will bind everything together, fill, so get rid of your islands,
Yeah.
fill those areas, sand them down, and then maybe use Peel Stop over the top of the whole lot rather than just patching.
Yeah.
Because that way it'll give you one absorbency. That'll give you one area as a whole.
That's good. I think we've covered everything, and anybody who wants to know about the mold resistant paint, please have a look at my YouTube channel. I've covered this on a number of videos now. Such a good paint if you've got areas, utility rooms, bathrooms, kitchens, where you've got the chances of mold coming. That is a good matte. You can get it in satin as well.
Get it in matte satin and comes in any colour.
Yeah, any colour. It's a good matte paint to actually use if you've got that fear of any bits of mould spores coming. And also, we've not touched on it, but again, it's all on my YouTube channel. The Bin Aqua is a water-based version of your red tinned bin, which is shellac based, and we've also got the, do we call it the turquoisey coloured tin, which is the 123 plus.
So you've got 123, which is the blue tin. The 123 standalone blue tin is the only primer that we do as a business that's got a rust inhibitor within it.
Yeah.
You've then got 123 plus, which is the next step up.
Yeah.
In the olden day, before Bin Aqua came out, that was the closest you could have got, the 123 plus to bin shellac, closest. It's a phenomenal product. It's a great product. I've used it. I use it. I've got people who use it all the time. It's an adhesive promoter, etc. It's a great product. Then on top of that, then you've got your bin shellac. You've then got your cover stain, which is oil-based. For stains and stuff, severe stains and stuff like that. Obviously, bin and cover stain. The downside to using them both in a confined area, the smell is horrendous. So I'd always recommend using those, but opening everything up to let the air circulate. And then you've got the Bin Aqua, which is, as Phil's just said, it's 0.1 of a gram VOC. It's the lowest VOC product in the marketplace by far. It is a great product. However, there is a caveat. As much as it says 45 minutes recoat, and it does, that doesn't apply to water stains and knots. Basically, because what that does, if you read the back of the tin, and there's a lot of words on the back of our tins, it does state minimum 2 hours. We always recommend overnight on stains. And what you'll find the next morning is you'll come back and you've let it dry. What you will find at the end, you'll come back in the morning, you'll see the stain is clear as day. It's still there. Don't worry, because what that does, as this dries down, it grabs the stand and pulls it into the paint film and locks it in situ.
It's encapsulated it.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Good word. Like
Good,
that.
brilliant word.
Thanks, mate. It's been a long day.
I've been in the trade a long while, I know these words. And just touching, you've not got any on the stand, but again, on my channel, all coat exterior, cracking paint.
Yeah.
But we'll also say just be mindful, read the instructions. If you are wanting to use it onto UPVC, I think there is a little one-liner that does say to use 1, 2, 3 as their primer stroke grip coat before you start using it.
I would
on
always, from my own perspective,
UPVC.
I've been in the industry 37 years, so from my own perspective, ex-painter as well, I would always go down the route of, regardless of what the tin says on the back of the tin, says no primer, no sanding, straight on glossy surfaces. Sorry, I'm old school. I would always go clean degrease with that one, which is that one there. That will neutralise any contaminants on the surface. Clean down with clean water, followed by either bin aqua or 1, 2, 3 plus, followed by all coat.
Yeah.
And the reason for that being is 99.9% of the complaints I get called in on is always on wood, because wood expands, contracts. So I'd always recommend using the 1, 2, 3 plus, the bin aqua as a primer in the first instance, and then 2 coats of all coat. Once you've done that and you've used the system, you won't have a problem. And obviously, again, comes back to what I said about denatured timber, use Peel Stop. So that it is a system, as I've said in my time. Sorry, Phil, you're going to have to really reduce this.
No,
I've already said
all
that. I've
information.
all said this in the past, and I said it to decorators all day long. In the good old day, when I was on the tools, it used to be a 4-coat system. I used to use Weather Shield. 4-coat system used to be preservative, primer, bare timber, 2 undercoat, 1 gloss. Why now are you expecting an MSP, an all coat, whatever it may be, to do it in 2? So, I'm sorry, that's me. So again, Peel Stop, 1, 2, 3 plus, all coat, done. And that's me.
On that note, I'm going to say thank you very much. Edward, have you got anything to ask?
You've answered all my questions.
What? Thank you. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, mate.